Logan. You've done that before. Don't lie to yourself. Logan is directed by James Mangold, who directed The Wolverine back in 2013. This is starring Hugh Jackman, and Patrick Stewart comes back as Xavier, Charles Xavier. But this is set in 2029 in a really post-apocalyptic kind of world where mutants haven't really been born in like 20 years, so there really isn't anyone left, and it's really dark and gritty, and you can feel that just in the atmosphere of the film, but also just in the dialogue of some of the characters. But with that out of the way, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the story, and then I'll get into my pros and cons of the film, and then if you should watch this or not. So the story of the film starts out in 2029, like I said. This is about 6 years after Days of Future Past had fixed the timeline, and so it's really nice and sunny at the end of Days of Future Past. Cyclops is still alive, Jean Grey is still alive, Xavier is still alive. All these things happen. So in that 6-year period, a lot of crazy things happen apparently, and it got to the point where there's like hardly any mutants left. Like almost zero. And so Xavier is having all these horrible medical issues. He's having seizures, and Logan's taking care of him. He's in Texas, right around the Mexican border, and pretty much what happens is he's taking care of Xavier with another mutant, which I'll remain nameless because you'll have to watch the film. What happens is these two women, an older woman who works at a hospital, and this little girl named Laura, which we'll talk about in a second, comes up to Logan and pretty much tries to get him to help Laura out. But to no avail until something happens. They're being chased by Reavers. They're going after this little girl who has mutant powers, and I'm not going to go too much into the story because there's some crazy things that happen with the Reavers and what their whole entire plan is here. Logan takes this little girl and has to run with Xavier as well. They're trying to drive to Eden, which is a safe haven for mutants. I suppose it's a safe haven, but this is read in the comics, which is another aspect of this film, which is a very interesting take on the X-Men franchise, because we haven't seen a comic book movie really, like, you know, besides like Deadpool, who's breaking the fourth wall all the time, comic book version of themselves. And what happens is, well, Logan pretty much is like, some of this happened, most of this didn't. This is all pretty much just fantasy. And so that's really grounding and crazy that this actually happened. Some of this stuff actually happened, and also at the same time was very fictionalized in this universe. And that's what I really liked about this movie, is it was so gritty, dark. The dialogue was perfect between all the characters. There was really good character development. So you gravitated towards the emotional side, towards all these characters: Xavier, Logan, Laura, and a couple of other characters in this film. And with that emotional appeal, you really can connect to the story and the overall X-Men arc that all of this is, downplayed. And this is like the last time that Wolverine is being played by Hugh Jackman. And you can see this in the 17-year period since 2000 when X-Men came out. But with all those pros in the way, there's only one con I really could come up with, and that is some of the shaky kind of camera work / editing that I saw in the film. Especially with some of the fight scenes with Laura, where I could tell it was a CGI'd fix. That's the only really quarrel I had with it, and it really took me out of the experience a couple times. But other than that, like, this movie grounded me to the floor, and I was really just, wanted to see this film. I couldn't keep my eyes off the screen, which is what a film should do to you. Overall, this is definitely, in my opinion, the best X-Men film, and one of the best superhero films of all time I've ever seen. And definitely worth checking out, because this gritty, dark Western, post-apocalyptic kind of sense to this film, where there's all these things happening to all these characters, but you really have this gripping feeling have this gripping connection to all of these characters. That's something I definitely love about this film, and definitely something I think you should go check out. So when I'm giving this review, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. That is a go own this movie on Blu-ray. Definitely. It's not a perfect film. However, this is something you definitely need to own in your collection. If not, watch it. Definitely watch this film, because it is dark, I haven't said it enough, gritty, and grounded in reality, because this is really unlike any superhero film you've ever seen. So definitely check out Logan. Let me know what you think down below. Comment, share, like. I want to hear your thoughts about Logan. Was this a really good film, or did I have it all wrong? Let me know down below, and I'll see you next time. I'm not jonesing around.